Don't you just love that classic all-day simmered beef ragu flavor? Well, today we're gonna do it in half the time and all in one pot. So talking about that classic all-day simmer flavor, beef ragu is such a comfort food, right? I mean, when I think about eating it, I'm on the couch, I've got my favorite blanket, everybody's happy in my home. I want you to have that as well. So with all of that being said, with some great beef and this red wine, a little bit of Instant Pot magic, you're gonna have dinner on the table in a fraction of the time with this beef ragu.
First things first, my friends, let's get all of our veggies prepped for the Instant Pot. This is a great opportunity to get more familiar with your chef's knife, as this knife work is key. Keeping everything diced small and uniform will help it cook evenly for a great end sauce result. Whacking garlic. Who doesn't love to take some frustration out in the kitchen? This helps the garlic skin peel off super easily. And after a frenzy of chopping, this beautifully fragrant garlic goes right in with the veggies. And this is the moment I introduce you to the star of the show. 3 beautiful Certified Angus Beef bottom round steaks. Look at the marbling, look at that vibrant red color. This is the perfect cut of beef for this recipe, as well as your wallet. But remember, look for our logo. This bottom round needs to be certified, right? If it's not certified, it's not the best. As far as knife work goes for the beef, I'm simply chunking these steaks into equal-sized cubes and seasoning both sides generously with salt and pepper, because that's all the beef needs. And now we sear. It's important to pay respect to this technique and truly give it the time it deserves. The process of searing our beef this way helps build tremendous flavor. Don't be afraid of browning, you guys. That's what we want to see here. I promise you're doing it right. The brown bits and the crisp edges, that's flavor developing, my friend. Let it happen. Do this in small batches so we don't risk overcrowding the pan. Use a little bit of extra oil in between searing batches to ensure the caramelized bits on the bottom of the pan aren't burning. We want to save those for the deglaze next. Oh, and look at all the flavor. Look, see all those brown bits? That's exactly what your pan should look like. Once all of our beef is seared nicely on both sides, remove it from the pan and put it aside. At this point, we're switching the Instant Pot to the saute method. And this is where we get to utilize all of that fond on the bottom of our pan. That's all that yummy goodness at the bottom that I told you about. That's good stuff. And as the veggies saute in the pan, they will help release those bits of flavor and marry everything together as we build our sauce. And remember, season, season, season. This is where we use our dried herbs and we start to see the veggies cook down a little bit. Now for the wine, using red wine to deglaze all of the goodness. So I'm gonna bump up the saute heat a little bit for this. Look at all of that flavor. Bring your sauce to a simmer and add the tomatoes and the beef back in that we set aside earlier. Be a little bit strategic with how you're placing your beef into the Instant Pot. You want all of that beef to be covered in the sauce. So at this point, all we have to do is put the lid on, change the Instant Pot to pressure cook, and set the timer for 45 minutes. The Instant Pot has done hours of work for us and in a fraction of the time. Now it's time to take a peek at what we've created. Look at the sauce transformation. Oh my gosh, it's slightly thicker. It's incredibly fragrant. I mean, this is bottom round, you guys. Look at this. This is a fantastic way to enjoy bottom round steaks. Wow, you should be so proud of this meal.
I have all the beef shredded, it's perfect. All I have to do now is add in my 4 cups of uncooked pasta. That is some of the magic. It's using the Instant Pot. The pasta never overcooks.
Add in your dry pasta and be sure that every bit of the pasta is submerged in the liquid. We're gonna pressure cook for an additional 3 minutes. And once that's over, turn off your Instant Pot and naturally depressurize for an additional 4 minutes.
Remember that all day simmer smell we talked about? It smells so good in here. I'm just gonna do some cheese and some fresh parsley, and let's give it a taste. Oh my gosh, the pasta is cooked perfectly. Thank you, Instant Pot. The beef is so moist and it's shredded perfectly. All I need is that cozy blanket we talked about. This is delicious. You guys are gonna love this. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. See you next time in the test kitchen.